Hey, what's up everyone? Rainy day here in Miami on my way into work. So what better time to make a video than sitting in traffic? So today is Wednesday, April 9th, and I am progressing on my 9x12. I have a few things going on at the same time. I have my new cold caller that started yesterday. They cleaned up the list like last Friday, and then they started calling yesterday once they finally got everything set up with the phone number and all. So they've already made a bunch of calls. I don't know how many yet, but they did get one person that was interested that said they're really interested at the end of the year, maybe next year, and that he wouldn't want to waste my time getting on a phone call, but it's for junk removal service. And I actually have some old hurricane shutters that I want to get rid of from my house, and so I figured maybe I can work out a barter or something with him, and he can take that away and he can get a spot on the ad and then see if it works for him, and I get a testimonial out of it, see what goes on there. I've been reaching out to my past customers from last time. I already sold two of my spots that I had previously sold on the previous card. One already paid, the other is out of the country right now, but once he gets back, he'd already told me to send him the invoice, so he's good to go. And I talked to my plumber for my card the other day. Great conversation. We talked about all sorts of things business. The guy is very, very smart, very involved in local marketing himself. He's a co-owner of another digital marketing agency, and gave me some great ideas on how to supplement the 9x12. But after the last mailing, he only got like one response, so he wasn't that interested in going in another. But he did want to just hang out and talk shop and just share his wisdom with me. He wasn't really trying to get much out of me, more like give information that he's learned and other good business ventures that I can go into that would make this venture even more effective. One of the things he talked about is like a directory card, or like a directory, an online directory. He talked about expertise.com, which apparently is like some gigantic nationwide directory. And he said their pricing model used to be very, very good for local businesses and stuff, but they shifted lately, and now they're trying to be more of a full service marketing company. He said their pricing is just way out of whack. It's like $400 or $500 a month for basic things. So that was an interesting conversation I had with him about other opportunities that I could pursue in order to supplement the direct mail giant postcard that we're working on with this 9x12. And I know there's a new product that's going to be coming out later this week that's all about directories and AI from the offline sharks. So that is something that I might actually be getting into anyways, because it's something I've always wanted to do. And now they have a whole product suite that dives into that with a lot of AI automation built in through Go High Level, which if it makes sense, then it makes sense. So I'll definitely watch their presentation, partly to learn about, just witness them, how they launch a product and everything else like that, so I can replicate that model for my EDDM tools, but also just to see what the product is and what it does, and if it's a viable option to include into my strategy. Other than that, so we have that one new cold caller that started yesterday, got me that one appointment for the end of today, and we'll see where that goes. If nothing else, I just like talking to local business owners anyways, see why he wants to wait until the end of the year, see if it's just because he's busy the rest of the year and that's his slow time and that's when he wants to advertise, or see what it is. The best way to find out anything is by talking to people. That's why I don't really like cold email so much. That's why I don't do a ton of DMs, because between that and the algorithms trying to block you if you send too many, it's just not easily scalable without AI automation going into it, which I might do something down the line including that, but I'm not there yet. So I'm doing cold calling, actually hiring somebody to do the cold calling, and now I'm calling past customers. So I already sold those other two. The AC guy from my last card, I called him on my way back from work yesterday and left him a voicemail. He got back to me, and he didn't seem immediately opposed to the idea of going on the next card. He said, just send over the new pricing, and then I'll take a look over it and let you know. So I sent him my pricing, the area I'm targeting, all the demographics that I pulled. Quick tip, in addition to route snip, which is my tool for grabbing all the EDDM route data straight from the USPS website, so you know that it's complete, accurate, and up to date as to what's actually in the system at USPS. After you've had your routes picked and everything, and you know the zip codes that you want to do, take that same information and put it into melissa.com. A user in the 9x12 marketing group had mentioned that it was a great way to get some extra data as far as like percentage of homeowners versus renters, which I saw wasn't something that USPS has on their website. So when I asked, like, where's that coming from, he said melissa.com. You sign up, it's basically free to use. They give you like a whole bunch of credits every month that are free. You just have to like pay $5 as like an initiation fee, whatever, which is very nominal. But you can go into there and then you put in your zip code and you can get all the routes from your USPS data, and you can look up much better details about like the average household income. So not just average income, but average household income, as well as what are the different ranges, like how many are below 60,000, below 70,000. So they have a lot of different stats, including that one about homeowners and renters, which is nice information for you to be able to share with your advertisers. So after you use RouteSnip, after you use RouteSnip Pro and get all your routes picked, you just one click and pick 5,000 homes or 10,000 home mailings. After you have that all done, so you know exactly which ones it is, you can just copy that over to Excel, and then you can open up melissa.com and put in those zip codes. Then you'll get the same routes out. And if you are any good at Excel, you can do some formulas to get everything to merge and VLOOKUP everything. It's what I do in my day-to-day is data analytics. So I'm very adept at those kind of things. I'll probably make a longer video showing you how to integrate those two data sources, so you can get this extra dimension of information to be able to share with your prospects. Another interesting thing they had on there is also average home value. So anybody that's like doing roofing or like large home improvement stuff, it's a good factor to say this is the average household income, so they can know that they can afford your services. And two, this is the home value, so you know either they probably have equity in their house to make upgrades, or it's a big house, so they have a larger project size that might be more interesting to them. So any remodeling, any of that kind of stuff, those are good, valuable stats. They can get really cheap just by going to melissa.com and pairing it with the route data that you already use with RouteSnip. So that's just another side-by-side that I've learned along the way. Now, another prospect that I reached out to again, I looked back through my emails as I'm like starting to like reach out to my old advertisers just to check in, and I saw I had messaged with one guy back in October when I was thinking about doing a card after the election. After the election, things kind of, got busy with the holidays and everything else, so I didn't end up filling that card, but he was interested at that time. And so I reached out to him again to let him know, hey, I'm doing this next card, this time to Palmetto Bay, and these are all the stats on there. This is what the ad would look like given our past conversation about making the offer a little bit bolder. He said he got like 5 calls from it last time it went out, but I don't think he said anybody actually followed through on a purchase. So he wants to add that extra discount in there, call to action, and I noticed like when they printed it, his font size was a little bit smaller, so I figured make it a little bit bolder, stretch things out a bit, make the CTA even bigger. So I sent that over to him. He was usually pretty responsive last time, so I'm going to give him a day or two to get back to me. The AC guy, I'll probably call him on my lunch break and see how it's going for him, if he had a chance to look over things. Actually, I might call him once I'm through traffic on the way in. And so that's where we're at with those two guys. I'll probably reach out directly to some of the other ones. I had sent out, like, I have a MailChimp account that I'd sent out information the last time I did a mailing, like all my progress reports and stuff along the way. And I I didn't hear back from most of the rest of the advertisers, but doing these one-on-one kind of calls and touching base with them directly seems to be having a better effect at getting an actual response and finding out where they are in their business and getting some more insight from them. So I'll probably call the other companies who are on the card, so like the blinds, the windows, so I can also know if those spots are open to sell to anybody else. But that's where I'm at as far as progress along the card. And as far as the cold calling, they started yesterday, and I have 2 more people that I'm talking to on Fiverr for cold calling in Espanol. So my Spanish cold callers, I think that they're both from Colombia, that I'm talking to so far. And so one guy, he responded pretty quickly, and he said, okay, what phone calling system do you have? So I'm talking to at least 2 people on Fiverr that are going to do some Spanish cold calling for me. The first one responded pretty quickly and asked me like what phone system am I using for the cold calling. I told him I'm new at this, so whatever he recommends or whatever he already has. So he told me the name of a system that's pretty cheap, that he prefers, that is like pay as you go and kind of stuff. So that sounds interesting. So I'm going to look into that. We're going to hop on a call today at like 12:30 my time and discuss it. He does real estate cold calling primarily. I think he's like $7.50 an hour, something like that. And he's based out in Colombia, speaks English and Spanish. So it sounds like he would probably be a good fit. So we'll see. We'll have our conversation, see what it takes to get the phone system all set up and everything, and take it from there. And then the other one, I reached out to 3. Another one got back to me, saying they're open to conversation. And then the other one was just like, okay, just tell me what you need me to do. And I actually really liked how the first person responded, giving advice, because I gave a little context in my job posting, in my message to them, letting them know what I was working on and what I'm looking for. And he responded back with like actual, substance, showing that he is actually a subject matter expert in this field and in what I'm looking to do. Whereas the other guy was like, all right, just what do you need? What is it? Just let me know how you want to proceed. Which might be fine, but I like the hands-on approach. Seems like probably better customer service mentality to begin with. So that's one. And then I talked to the person that's handling my cold calling that's already started, and asked her like, oh, they're talking about like the phone calling systems and all that. She was very helpful at telling me about all the process that she goes through, the CRMs she uses, which ones she recommends, which ones are best for starting up and all that. So I have a lot of homework to do in that process to make sure I get my head wrapped around the best, most cost-effective way to hire this process out. I thought it would be more turnkey, but when it is, it's usually a little bit higher in price. So the people that kind of manage it all for you, they've already invested in all those tools. They've already put the money behind getting the phone numbers, getting all the information set up so they can just run through their dialers and make all their calls. So working with somebody that's just doing it solo, they might not have all those tools already in place. So that's probably why some of the other Fiverr gigs that I see on there are like 250 calls for $250, whereas others are like $7.50 an hour, or this other guy was like $5 an hour. But you can already tell by the quick interactions why they are the different values. But still, at $7.50 an hour, I feel like even between that and the software to run the dialing and stuff, it'll still probably be more cost effective than just paying the straight dollar per dial kind of factor. So something I'm learning. I'll be sharing it all as I go within this channel, what's most effective and what's not. I'm also sending like DMs to different people that I see online, posting in different groups. I'm trying to be more active on my Facebook page, modeling Scott Meisner's process. So if you're in direct if you're in the EDDM world at all, you probably know Scott Meisner. If you don't, just find him on Facebook. His name's like Scott Meisner, the postcard guy. He has a page where he's constantly like putting stuff out about his mailers. So he's working on filling the last bit of his card that goes out at the end of April. And so it's kind of cool. You get to see like his behind the scenes process of how he fills the card, the step-by-steps, what he posts, how he gets responses, how he handles those responses, how he says, all right, I have this specialty in this area that I need filled. He has like 13 cards going out, 10,000 piece mailers for 13 different regions that he does himself on 11 by 14 gigantic cards, even bigger than the 9 by 12. And so getting to kind of see behind the scenes and how he runs his business is useful for me. So I'm trying to emulate that a little bit too, even though I have like 20 followers on Facebook. He has like 4,000 in his area, but he's been doing this 12 years up there in Pennsylvania. So if you want some good insight, follow him and see what he does and see if it can work for you in your process. Another person I'm also following on Facebook is Carolyn Hutchinson. She does the Kenosha Spotlight. Another great postcard. She does like monthly mailing, so she's always cranking it out. She has a great website that goes into like a lot of the selling points of the 9 by 12. Really clean and simple. She has a whole program around that she also sells that comes with the templates and everything else. But what I'm doing is I'm just following her page and seeing how she advertises her openings, as well as she advertises the people that are on her card. So they're constantly getting a flow of exposure in the local community as well. And as people see those deals, they actually share them themselves. So you see like a little button underneath like each ad, like, oh, this was shared 3 times, 4 times. That guns back, feeding back into her page, because like, oh, what's this page that's like just sharing these great deals? And so then she builds her following that way. And then when she needs more ads to fill, then she works it out that way. Again, she has a whole course that goes into all the details about how she runs this Facebook group and how she works that into her process, which is apparently working really well. So that's another side tip, just to follow the people that are doing it really good. There's a couple other people that I'm not sure if they have like public Facebook pages and everything like that sharing their journey. But if you're just get in the school group by Mitch Tebow and get in the 9 by 12 group by Jake Lorraine, and you can learn so much by all the different people that are in these different groups and in order to implement it to your process. So that's a bunch more tips for the day. Trying to think if there's anything else that I should share. If not, then I'll probably get off this and I'll start cold calling, because it's after 8 o'clock now, and do that on my drive into work. All right, so I think that's about it for today. That's where I stand on all my different avenues to acquisition. So if you like this video, if you made it all the way to the end like this, please give a like and subscribe. As a matter of fact, I'm at 41 subscribers right now. If I get to 50, then I can do live streams, and that would be really nice, because I like to just like, you know, be out there live in the world, and then we can have live chat. So if anybody's watching it live, they can ask me questions about the journey, about any of the tools, and then we can share it from there. So if there's 9 of you watching that haven't yet subscribed, just hit the like, also help me in the algorithm, and hit the subscribe button. Get me up to 50 so I can start doing some live streams, and I'll let you know whenever I'm doing these lives. If you're like me and you're working in the morning and you like a little daily dose of ideas, then we could just hop on a live while I'm in the car on the way to work, and you can join me, watch, we can chat along the way. So hit that subscribe button, get me up to 50, and then we'll be able to take it from there. I want to share the whole journey. I want to share everything, so that way you can, you know, take any shortcuts that you glean from me to make it work for your own card. So with that said, hit the like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care. Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Thursday, April 10th, and I am slowly progressing on filling my 9 by 12 in the month of April. So we're 10 days in. I have 2 spots sold, a few more interested, but we're not quite filled yet. So an update on my progress of what's going on so far. So yesterday I had 2 appointments that were scheduled by my appointment pipeline. I'll put their link below in the description for her website. So they've been cold calling. They went through my list and they identified all the owners. They've been calling everybody. So they got 2 appointments set up for me so far. One was a waste, a junk removal company that's more interested at the end of the year. Right now, he's actually really busy from what I could tell. But he's definitely interested in when he expands closer to the fall and next spring. And then the other one was a dog grooming company that's actually located in Homestead. That's actually just a solo person right now. She's still starting up. She just opened up about 4 months ago. So she likes the idea. She's interested, but right now she has her hands already full of doing all the jobs in the business herself. So as she brings on more people, then she should be looking to expand into advertising at that point. So no interest at the current time, but a good relationship built for the future. So those are 2 positive relationships there. I have another person to call this morning. They have a pool company, and so I'm going to talk to them. Sounds like they talked to the owner yesterday, and they wanted me to call back today to speak to, I guess, one of the other managers that runs things for them, to share the rest of the information with them. So that's good. Within like 2 days, I already got 3 appointments and good prospects for, if not right now, for the future. And as I expand, be able to do that. So this pool company, I reached out to my pavers advertiser because now he also does pool installations, and I noticed that this pool company also does installations. So I reached out to him and asked him if he has any problem with them. He hasn't responded yet. But I'm going to direct the conversation towards more focusing on the pool maintenance side of the business and see if they are okay with that, and then, or if they are really focusing on pitching the pool construction. A lot of these places in Palmetto Bay might already have pools, so they might get a lot of business from just having good offer for pool maintenance and then get into the neighborhoods that way. So that's how I'm going to kind of steer the conversation, so that it's not contracting versus contracting on the card of, even though there are different types of focus. And the pavers guy had told me before he's not really focusing on the pool so much. It's not his bread and butter, but I want to respect his place on the card since he does do pool installations. So that's where I'm going to guide that conversation. I started a Facebook, Instagram ad yesterday. I just posted something up on my page and boosted it for $5 a day. I have 2 messaging conversations started because I focused on the lead acquisition by conversation, and so I spent $5. I have one person that owns a drip bar, like a mobile IV drip kind of thing, and so they serve the whole county. And so they asked if I was doing any other areas right now, or if right now I'm just focusing on Palmetto Bay. So I told them where I'm at in that regard, and they sound interested. They're still thinking about it. What I'm going to do is what really worked for me last time. I'm just going to mock up a little ad, send that to them to keep the conversation warm and keep it going, and see what they do from there. But they definitely sounded interested in what it is, and I gave them some of the demographics, so they're thinking about it. I'll just have to keep that conversation going. The swim lessons place, I haven't heard from them in about a week, so I sent them another message yesterday evening, asking them if they've been able to meet with the team yet, or if I should consider reaching out to other swim class companies, since it's prime time for them to get business. So just kind of lighting the fire under them to see if that'll help kind of nudge that conversation along. So they're a big company, they're always expanding, so I feel like advertising should be a no-brainer. If nothing else, I'll do what I do. I'll mock up a little ad for them, make it real, make it seem like, oh, okay, this guy knows what he's doing, he's for real, he's legit, etc. So I gotta put that together. Oh, back to the one with the Ivy bar. They actually asked if I have any proof of fulfillment, proof of delivery, what I can provide to, as far as clarity that this is actually something I'm really doing, which is a common thing that I got on my first card. This time I actually have proof, so I can actually show them pictures of me with the last cards and show the whole process. I'm going to email them my packet of information that I sent to the advertisers last time, that shows the receipts from USPS, all that kind of paperwork, so they know that it is a legit operation that I do. So that's what I need to owe them. So I'll get that finished this morning and send that over to them, along with the mock-up of their ad. I'll do it as a little bundle to send off there, keeping that relationship warm. What else is there? Yesterday I had a meeting with my cold caller candidate from Argentina. So he's really good, a really smart guy from what I gather. Very curious, very insightful, very driven. He understands the concept. His gig on Fiverr was that he does like real estate cold calling, but he has like a little demo video, and I watched that, and I'm like, this guy sounds like for real. There's a ton of people on Fiverr that have almost like copy paste descriptions for their work, and I recognize it because it's like the same exact sequence of words that doesn't actually make grammatical sense. So there's a ton of them. So every time I click on one of those, I'm just like, I'm not interested in that because I don't know what their deal is. I don't know if it's for real or not, or if it's just like some conglomerate playing games. So this guy looks like a solo guy working out of Argentina. So we had a Zoom call yesterday. We went through 2 40-minute calls because each of our Zooms hit the limit while we're talking. And he loves the idea. He immediately got it. He like even came like with a little postcard that he had received in the mail down there. He's like, so are we talking about something like this? And it was like a little flimsy thing, like, no, it's actually this. And I held up the big card and like it showed him. He's like, oh wow, that's like really glossy and thick. And so he immediately got the value of something that big and something that visible, and he really liked the idea. And I was telling him about the neighborhood, and he's like, oh wow, that sounds really neat. So he had a lot of great ideas. I sent him my script, and he's like, okay, this is a good script. Is there leeway for me to like adjust it at all? Like, you know, as I have the conversation, I'm like, yeah, this is just like kind of a starter, just so you don't get hung up on. But going after this point, then you can, you know, guide the conversation, feel out the person, see what they're interested in. I told him like the way I approached my cold calling was more of a curiosity based, like, hey, what are you doing right now to get customers? And then guide the conversation towards this as either an alternative or a supplement to what you're already doing. So he really liked all those ideas. He had a lot of his own ideas and a lot of his own questions. So like, usually I see somebody that's like several months into doing the 9x12 asking about like competition and like how to do like all the kind of different pitches and like what they should advertise, how to get them to respond. And he also had a lot of good ideas for like his approach, and like he's like, oh yeah, everybody in Miami like is from different countries, so everybody has different accents, so I can use that in my conversation to build rapport. I'm like, this guy actually, you can tell he does cold calling often and he knows the relationships and everything. So he's going to be really good, I think. He's really excited to get started. He gets paid on an hourly rate. So I forget what his rate was, but I haven't paid the Fiverr thing yet. We were just doing the discovery call first to make sure we were a good fit. So everything looks good. I'm going to finish preparing my list to send him. He said, okay, I sent him out the list while we were on the call. He's like, is there a way that I can like put in my notes on here and then like then you can see them, so you know can adjust accordingly in case like they might not want an appointment but they have other notes. So I was like, okay, that's a good idea. So I put it into Google Drive so he can just edit it live, and then I can like see the updates as they come in from him. My other cold caller that's English based, he was like, we had the idea that if any of the people that they're calling prefer Spanish, then they can just mark them, and I can make sure that he like follows back up to them in Spanish. So that's good. Even the dog groomer person that I called and spoke to spoke fine English, but like the first thing she said was like, "Oh, do you speak Spanish? I prefer to speak Spanish." So that's just even more reason why I'm like, it's a good idea to have somebody that speaks Spanish, because people are more comfortable speaking Spanish. They think differently when they talk in different languages. Their brain connects differently to their mind. They can be more free. They can be more open. They can be more direct without having to like translate everything in their mind into something else. So I think this will be really good. I'm really curious to see the results. He's going to start on Friday, calling, probably like early mornings, like probably like 2 or 3 hours a day in the early mornings. So I told him like starting at 8 a.m. He's like, "Oh, but what if like people are going to school, or like they're dropping their kids off at school? Would they be available at that time? Are places open?" And so these are like really good questions that, you know, he's already looking at that, how to schedule and why to schedule certain ways. And I told him a lot of the contractors, like landscapers, window repair, door repair, AC companies, they're often up and working by 8 a.m. They're probably stuck in traffic on the way to a client's job. So that might actually be the best time to reach some of them, because they have nothing better to do. They're not bogged down in the rest of their day-to-day work. And they have time because they're just sitting in traffic for an hour on the way to a job site. So I told him, let's try sticking with this. I see a lot of trucks on the road for a lot of different contracting companies. So I know that they're out there and they're working. And so you can actually probably get people on the phone after 8 a.m. And so he's going to try that. All right. So, and then he also asked about like lunchtime, when people usually take lunch, so know like kind of how to navigate calls around the rest of the time. So he's definitely asking a lot of good questions, and I'm looking forward to working with him. I'm going to get him the rest of the list. I'm going to update it. I'm going to put some of my own numbers kind of sprinkled in there, just so I can kind of gauge his response. We tested out the phone system. I was able to get a 305 number and everything, get it all set up. The only issue is like when we did a sample call, it comes up as potential spam, like right in the header. And not sure how to get around that. I reached out to the other cold calling company, Appointment Pipeline, to ask her if she had any info on that. And she's like, all the thing with that is that the service that you use has to actually pay to like have a list of the right numbers that don't automatically come up as that. And that's why when she was setting up our phone number, she wasn't able to get a 305 number or a 786 number. She had to get something from a whole nother area, I think from like Palm Beach or something, in order to get a number that actually comes up as legit. So we'll see how much that affects. I get lots of potential spam calls all the time, but they don't necessarily mean that they actually are spam. Sometimes it's doctors' offices that are using voice over IP. Sometimes it's pharmacy. There's a lot of different places that do use these kind of numbers. So maybe they'll be more curious about like, oh, what is this number anyways? I don't know. It could be a client. It could be a customer. It could be somebody else. So we'll see if that actually does affect the receivability of the calls. But it rang through to my phone, no problem. It didn't like auto detect and auto delete or anything. And I answered it, and he sounded loud and clear, so everything's working good on that regard. The company is called like Zadarma. It's some place out of like Bulgaria or something, but it's like really, really cheap. It was like, I think $24 to get the phone number for the year. It's like $4 a month, or if you like pay 12 months in advance, and it's like $2 a month paid in advance. So $24 for that, and then it's just like based on usage, you get like 100 free minutes, I think, a month. But then anything above that, it's like 1 cent or a partial of a cent per minute, something like that. So I just like threw an extra like $16 in there. So I've spent $40 on the phone system. See how it works. It seems to work pretty well for at least phone call clarity. We'll see about the potential spam thing, if that really matters. Well, I'll see based on how many people answer the phone calls. So he's going to go through Google Sheets, put in all the notes for all the meetings and everything like that. So that's where we are at with the cold callers. That's where we're at with the clients so far. So it's all moving along pretty well, I think. I'll be doing some of my own calling to some of my past clients along the way on my lunch break and stuff. So I'll be updating things as I go. I'll be putting together my demo ads. There was a kitchen design, paneling, closets, all this kind of stuff. A company that I called a week or two ago, and they sounded interested on the phone. They were going to talk to somebody else at the company, and then I haven't heard back from them. So I'm going to do what I do, craft up a little design ad in Canva, send that their way to keep the conversation warm, and see if I get any feedback from them, any update from them, just kind of keep the relationship building. So that's my status update on everything as it's going. So as we get to the next phase, I'll keep updating these videos. Let me know if you like them. Hit the like and subscribe. If I get up to 50 subscribers, I think I'm up to 42 now. If I get up to 50, then I can do live calls. So I might be able to even like live stream on this and broadcast it that way. And that might be fun. We can like have a Q&A and chat and stuff along the way. So I'd be really excited to do that. So if you help me out, get up to 50 subscribers, then I can start doing those calls with you too. So in the meantime, hit the like, hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.